I love Blackpool. Do you love Blackpool?
Yeah!
Even though you do keep fingering my mannequin at that Madame Tussauds. What's wrong with you? I've got a whole new outfit because it keeps getting manhandled. Look at you. Keep those to yourself, love. Right. Well, do you know what's happening tonight?
What?
No, that right, listen. What we're going to do is we're going to have my fantastic support. You're going to love her. Then we're going to have a little break, so you go and have a wee and a poo, get yourself another drink. Then I come on and I do my regional trinket tour. How does that sound? And do you know what, Blackpool? Because I love Blackpool, there's a part in the show where you can take photos of me if you want. Look at me making dreams come true. Wow! Yes, so listen, put your phones away, just have a great time. And please, let's just have fun. Because isn't it nice to be out the house, Blackpool? Right, okay, now listen, it's about time to bring on my fantastic support. So we need a fantastic Blackpool welcome. So you, madam, you're going to spread the clap, okay? Put your pint down, come on. I want to know why have your knees been rubbed out of those jeans? You dirty cow. Right, start the clap. That's it, I'm loving it. Great clap all the way over there. All the way to the top, all the way over there. She's supported rubbish. Michael McIntyre, she's brilliant. It's Louise Young.
Hello, Blackpool! That's wicked. Hello, thanks so much for having us. I'm Louise. I've done a lot of gigs down south lately, and it's nice to be back up north. It's so good. Yes! I am aware though it's the other side, so I do still need to slow this accent down. I know that. I know the Geordie accent's a weird accent, and I know it's a weird accent because, and you might relate to this, you've got accents here. I met my friend's brother a while ago. My friend's German, and so was his brother. They're weird like that, the Germans. And, you're already more intelligent than the audience I had last night. That's fantastic. In their heads. And when I met him, I thought I was being really lovely and being really charming. Then when I left the situation, my friend's brother said to him, "Your English friend, she's very nice, but why does she speak like a pirate?" So I want to slow this down. And it's so nice to be doing comedy to actual people again. It's so good. Yes. It's because comedians have been doing comedy too, like to Zoom, like Skype gigs, like on my laptops and stuff like that. So it's so nice to be doing jokes to actual people instead of to my laptop, like some kind of weird Amy Winehouse webcam fetish. It's lovely. It's great, and I don't know what it was like here in Blackpool, but I know in Newcastle upon, I was very proud of Newcastle at the end of the last lockdown. There's Geordies in. Zip up your handbags. But I was very proud of Newcastle because, oh my God, at the end of the lockdown, the queue for Primark. It was round the block. And you've got to hand it to Primark. Primark's very clever, Primark's very intelligent because the women's clothing range in Primark is called Atmosphere. Yes, it is. That's the name of the women's clothing range. Atmosphere. And I thought, right, now, to be fair to them, that is such clever marketing, that, isn't it? Because after 2 washes, that's exactly what those clothes become. They disintegrate. But I've had to get thrifty during the lockdown experience because I'm working class, I'm from a working class background, and I know I'm working class, and I know I'm working class Blackpool because when I was 12, I quit smoking. But for the right reasons, for the baby. And when you're from a it's saying as well, a signifier of being working class is you have the auntie, you've got the token auntie who got out. She got out of the council estate and she lives in a new build. She votes Tory now because she's got Spotify Premium. Just living the dream. And when you're from a working class background as well, you naturally kind of, just by osmosis, you sort of learn a lot about what's impacted and influenced working class culture. Like I learned that Margaret Thatcher, her nickname was Maggie Thatcher, Milk Snatcher. It was, that's because what she did is she used to go around grabbing people's tits. That's true. I did that joke every single day at a comedy festival. And for some reason in our audience we had like a lot of American and Canadian people in for a month. And when they'd walk away at the end of the shows, I'd think, do they now just think that's true British political history? I hope so, in many ways. Whose lockdown was shit? Yeah. Whose lockdown was alright? Yeah. What the fuck is going on? Right, mine it was quite bad, but the thing is with me, I've got to watch myself, I've got to be careful of myself, because I'm what's known as a bit of a psychopath. And I have got one of those people who's a bit of a nightmare, very prone to going off the rails, and it gets bad, it gets really bad. I can remember at one point, it was awful. Like one of my friends, she went, it was, Louise, it's a good job you haven't had any kids, because if you did, they'd be taken off you. I know. And I was like, I know, I'm so sorry, I'm going to sort my life out, I'm so sorry. But I can remember at that time in my head thinking, oh my God, there's a good chance that's actually happened and I just can't remember. It was awful. And because of that, because of my nightmarish ways, I've had to quit drinking. I've had to stop drinking for a while because I can't do anything in moderation. It's so annoying. I'm just one of those people, I can do nothing in moderation. And I get very jealous of my friends because they can do things in moderation. Like, so my friends' nights out would only just, kind of be like the usual, like, woo, having a few Prosecco's with the girlies. And then my nights out, they end up being, woo, smoking crack with a one-eyed man called Mickey. Yay. Awful, so I had to tone it right down, sort myself out, because at the start of the lockdown I broke up with me, so I'm a gay lord, I'm a lesbian. I tried to bring gay lord back, it's not quite working. Thank you for the cheers. I felt like I was coming out. But I am so, and I think some people are still a bit scared of gay people. I do, I think some people are scared of gay men because it's like they can just assault you with words and a sassy look. And then people are scared of lesbians because it's like they can just assault you. You got that in Blackpool, they didn't in Surrey. And because I'm a nightmare as well, I'm dreading going out there and dating again. I really am, because I think normal people get nice things said to them, like, oh, if we were in a relationship, we'd have the best time ever. And then I get things said to me like, if we were in a relationship, we'd be dead within a week. I need to sort it out, I'm just dreading it. I genuinely dread dating. It's awful, Tinder and everything. And I've noticed as well, I think, this is what I've observed, as a society, we are told what's sexy and we just accept it. We don't question it. Like, we're just like, the television tells us what's sexy, adverts tell us what's sexy, the high street tells us what's sexy, and summers will just be like, ooh, pour this chocolate sauce over a lover and lick it off. Why? It's sexy. Is it? Yes, profiteroles are sexy now, be one. And it's true, right? The adverts tell us what's sexy, the internet tells us what's sexy, with phones, social media influencers tell us what's sexy. And side note, I do think, if you think about the word influencers, it's a strange word to use to describe, they shouldn't be called influencers, they should be called, pricks. They're awful. Oh, it's so nice to be in the north again. It's really lovely. And they do so, I'm dreading dating again, and I think it's because, I'm more out on stage and stuff, but I think one-to-one I get a bit socially anxious, and dates are they're anxiety inducing. And even before the pandemic, if I went on a date with a lass and we got into a taxi together, right? And if I got the slightest feeling the taxi driver was a little bit homophobic, I would say to my date, don't hold my hand, don't put your arm around us, please just don't touch us. I know how that sounds. I know it sounds quite harsh, it sounds quite weird, it sounds quite sad, to be honest with you. But I suppose like, I felt like I needed to kind of protect my Uber rating. Friendly. We're learning how to do these things again, learning how to date again, how to go out again, how to go on holiday again is another one. And the last time I went on holiday, so as well I'm Turkish, right? Half Turkish, half Geordie. You're right to laugh and also go, ooh. But half Turkish, half Geordie, so it's, I suppose it's a bit like half of me wants to cosmetically enhance your teeth. The other half wants to knock them out. That's what I'm working with, it's been a hard life. I also you what? It's the fucking Geordies again.
Yeah, Whitley, babe.
I do feel as well like as a Turkish Geordie, it's kind of like nobody in this, unless there is Turkish Geordies and I doubt it, nobody in this room more than me at any given moment, because of my genetics, just wants a kebab. The lesbian thing is not helping with that fact either. Again, I didn't do that one in Surrey. Look how on brand I am as well. I didn't mean to do this. I've got my water bottle and it's fucking Greg's. God, I'm such a fucking cliche. Right, where am I? So, the last time I went on holiday, and culturally I feel very British, I do. I don't feel very... Well, I've got one Turkish trait, it's very stereotypical, one Turkish trait. I like to haggle. Barter for a price. It's not a lesbian sex move. I felt some people go, she likes to what? Like to haggle, but I'm not very good at it. And I know I'm not very good at it, because I went on holiday with my cousin, right? And I bought something from a stall, and I was walking back towards her, and she was just stood there, and she was shaking her head, she was so disappointed, and she said, you know what's happened there, don't you? And I was like, what? And she said, they've seen your English money, and they've taken you for a ride. Yeah, and I did feel quite embarrassed, because we were in this little place called Abu Dhabi. Don't say I forgot the name, yeah. No, sorry, Aberdeen. How'd you go in there? Not a waste of a drama degree. Newcastle upon Tyne and Blackpool actually have some spiritual common ground, well, a lot of it, to be honest with you, but one particular thing that I fucking love this, right? So both Newcastle upon Tyne and Blackpool have featured on their very own episode of British documentary series Booze Britain. Well done, guys. And I love Booze Britain, and something happens in the Blackpool episode that's absolutely wonderful, so I'm so happy I'm here that I can tell you it, right? Some of you might remember. So, obviously Booze Britain, for those of you who don't know, was a documentary about how people in Britain drink too much. And they went around Blackpool for one of the episodes, right? And so they're going around and they get talking on the street to this woman called Debbie. And they're like, Debbie, are you having a good night out? And as you can imagine, Debbie, I'm having a fucking wicked night out. Well, less Geordie, but you got the picture. So she was mortal drunk, bless her heart. And what they did in the documentary is they did like an activity where they made them do a breathalyzer and they took a reading. And on the next scene in this documentary, you saw Debbie. She is bloody dancing around on the tables, got her top off, having an absolutely marvellous night out. But at that precise moment, the voiceover on the documentary just went, Debbie may be feeling in the party spirit, but medically, she has enough alcohol in her bloodstream to be in a potentially fatal coma. Welcome to Blackpool. Because fucking hell, Debbie danced on. She did. Fuck the coma. Debbie did the Macarena. It was marvellous. Have I got time? I've quickly got time to tell you this, because this has happened and it's on my mind and I want to share it because I think it's weird as hell. So, I've got this guy in Newcastle who fixes my car, right? I always go to him. He fixes the car so cheap, so I keep going back to him, but he is a bit creepy. Like, he is, but like, do you know what? It's fine. Like, I've got it under control, it's fine. Okay, I know. Jesus, saying that out loud, hearing that back, realising I'm just hauling myself out for a coil spring. That's awful. So, but anyway, that's not the point of the story. So I realised today, like, the wiper on my car, it's completely broken from the bottom. And I've realised that this guy, he thinks in this, like, sort of lateral way. It's impossible to get a straight answer from him. It's absolutely infuriating. So I texted him before, the wiper, it's broke from the bottom and I can't fix it. And I said, like, oh, hi, Paul. I shouldn't use his real name. I don't know. So I said, hi, Mike. Can I speak to Paul? I said, hi Paul, the windscreen wiper, it's broken from the bottom. Is it okay if when I get back from Blackpool, I can take the car in to get it fixed? So I get just look at it at least. He's texted back before I come on here. This is in all seriousness, and replied with, why? It's not raining. Thank you. I did just say to my friend though, at least now I know he's not intelligent enough to be a serious threat to my personal safety. Every cloud. What else? So yeah, things about the pandemic. Right, I'm trying to find silver linings with the pandemic and with the lockdown. One thing that I don't mind, I know it's quite divisive and people hate, like, everyone's sharing their opinions online and it gets heated and stuff like that, but I quite like hearing what my friends think about things. I like to hear their opinions and their perspectives. And I had it was quite an interesting discussion I had with my friend, and it was about sort of crime and punishment, right? And we're talking about capital punishment, the death penalty. Yeah. And I said to her, I was very honest, I said, I don't believe in capital punishment, I don't believe in the death penalty, I just don't believe in it. However, I do have to admit, like, and I said this as well, I admit there are people who walk this earth who, not very nice to say at a comedy night, but there are people who walk this earth who, you know, say things like, I don't take sugar, I'm sweetener. And then I think, bring back hanging. That is horrible, that joke. It's really horrible. But yeah, and so the pandemic was a stressful moment because I thought, oh shit, like I'm gonna have to get a 9 to 5 again and I'm very unemployable. The best thing on my CV, oh God, it's a terrible CV, but the best thing is a degree in theatre and drama. There's other people here who also are gonna work in call centres. I'm doing this, but in a real life capacity, it's useless. There is no real life skills you get from a degree in drama. The biggest life skill I took away from my degree in drama, honestly, is that it's left us with just enough, and I am talking very, very low level acting ability, to be able to successfully manipulate Valium out of most doctors. All it's come in handy for. And so towards the end of the lockdown situation, I had a job in a shop lined up, and I thought, right, brilliant, exactly. I'm not great at working in shops. I was all right at the last shop, but I did fuck up quite badly. I made one really bad mistake with the money, but I completely got away with it. And this might be a symptom of Newcastle and the North. I completely got away with it because a customer tried to complain to the manager about me, and the customer couldn't identify us. The customer could only identify me as the Spanishy Polish one. Got away with it completely. But yeah, I'm trying to sort myself out. I'm trying to be, I know I'm an extreme personality, and I think when you're an extreme personality, it can filter down into your lifestyle. I mean, lifestyle's quite extreme. Like 1 minute I'll be running marathons, clean eating, drinking nothing but wheatgrass. The next I'm necking pints of vodka, taking narcotics for days, sat in A&E at 4 o'clock in the morning, changing Elvis impersonator's catheter with me teeth. That's far-fetched. That ain't I want to say. That is just a joke. Wheatgrass is disgusting. I would never drink it. But I am trying to sort myself out and stuff. I think it's difficult if you're not really surrounded by very wholesome people. And I know, like, me and my friends are very wholesome people. And I know this because we've invented a game. You might want to try a Blackpool. It's a drinking game. Yes. What we do is we watch Celebrity Autopsy. And then we drink every time something we've been prescribed shows up in a toxicology report. You're laughing at the psychopath jokes tonight. Dog in Blackpool. But I try to be like, I don't know, I try to calm myself down. So I think you're a product of your environment to an extent as well. That's not completely true though, because my mom's quite a wise woman. My mom is such a profound woman. She comes out with amazing, profound things, like full of wisdom. And she said this to me. So do you know how parents will say things to their kids along the lines of like, you know, don't say anything unless you've got something nice to say. Yeah. My mom has such a profound twist on this. And she said this to me since I was a toddler, and I want to share it with you before I leave. So she says, don't say anything until you've spoken to an on-duty solicitor. Isn't that profound, like? Oh God, right, I'm gonna have to go in a second. I do feel as well like, I tell a lot of these kind of going off the rails jokes usually in my comedy sets. And I was telling like more of these kind of when I went mad and stuff at a comedy club in Newcastle, and Gaza, Paul Gascoigne, was in the audience. Yes. I don't know why he was there. He was heckling loads. He was quite drunk. It was stressful. So anyway, I'm telling these stories about going off the rails, and like I'm really into it. Then when I get off stage, Paul Gascoigne grabs us, embraces us, and he went, "Hey, it's like me and you've had the same life." That's when you know your life's been shambolic, Blackpool. When Paul Gascoigne's relating to you on a deep level. It's like we've had the same life. He's not wrong, obviously, like I say, when I played for England. And he became a Turkish lesbian. I can't read his autobiography, I don't know what happens. I'll leave you on this one before I go, and then you've got the wonderful Alan Carr, and you're going to have such an amazing night. You've been so lovely. I'll leave you on this one. This last joke, this is more of a thinker, right? This is a philosophical joke, and it's more for you to ponder on the way home this evening. So I just want this one to marinate in your heads, right? Think about this. So, statistically, some taxi drivers will be serial killers. So have a great night.